I have felt over years that there are some things that they're not going to do any harm, whether it's God or not. So, for example, if I felt the Holy Spirit tell me that my neighbour has just been diagnosed with cancer and that I should do something about it, to go and take a cake or go and ask, is there anything I can do? Not even saying, oh, I hear you've got cancer, but just going and offering my help. If they suddenly burst into tears or something and say, oh, how did you know? I've just been told by the doctor. Then I would know, well, that was the voice of God.
Mm-hmm.
If they
Absolutely.
say, you're an idiot, get out of here, I don't care about your mum-in-law and your cake, then I have to wonder. And so I think there is a degree, I've always felt this, that there's a degree to which I can experiment with caution to find out whether or not it is the mind of God.
Absolutely. Set up parameters. I was setting up parameters too, even in going to Christchurch. It was like, God, you better have a point. I got righteously angry. I've been there and nothing had happened to me. I hadn't encountered anyone. I hadn't shared the gospel with anyone. You know what I mean? It's like, because you're talking about Philip sharing the gospel with that Ethiopian, for instance, you know. I didn't know what God's point or plan might have been, and his point or plan was to provide me providence in a moment of need, basically, to prove to me that he was there. So
if that writing wasn't on the wall?
Well, that's the thing. I don't think I would have the proof to say that God had any point to it. I wouldn't be sharing a story saying that God was there. You know what I mean? It would be an entirely different story. But it will also be a story too where I have set up an example in my life where I'm putting my faith and trust in God, and God didn't come through for me. Whereas I'm going to quote a little bit of the Bible off the top of my head. Never have I seen the righteous begging for bread, you know? And it's like God, where God guides, he provides, basically. And if it wasn't provision, well, then it wasn't God guiding, and I wouldn't be able to include that story with the people I would share it to as God guiding me. I'd have to say it was me guiding me, and I found no God in a sense, which is perhaps certain atheists' experience. Perhaps they try and put trust in God, but it's in a misguided way where they don't know his character and they don't get the result they're ideally hoping for. So therefore they say God doesn't exist, he's not there.
So something you said earlier did indicate to me you haven't come on our show to flog off a book, but your book is available.
That's right. That's right.
Can you tell us how people would get a hold of that?
Okay, well, it's on Coorong. So if you know Coorong's nationwide, they got stores in Sydney, Melbourne, Adelaide, Brisbane, a lot of other places around. So you can certainly go into your local Coorong store and buy it. You can also get it online through Coorong in Australia. It's also on Amazon, amazon.com.au. It's in America and the States on Barnes & Noble as well as Amazon. It's in England as well and a couple of their bookstore chains. So it's available. If you just search Justin Brent Wallace or the writing on the wall, Justin Brent Wallace into Amazon or whatever, it'll come up. Coorong.com.au, I think, is their website. So...
Yep. Yeah, most of our people that are listening would know about Coorong, so they could find that, and they could obviously find it online through Coorong as well. So it's very interesting, Justin. So probably just one final.
Final.
Is that a
superfluous? Yes.
Perhaps one final question. How do you then feel that this experience, and I know it's only one experience out of your very, very long life of 40 or 50 years, but how do you feel that this experience has then affected your ongoing Christian experience?